welcome one, welcome all to the Progressive Vibe Podcast. I'm your host, Doddie. Today's date is Monday, June 8th, 2026. This year is just moving way too fast for me. It's kind of hard to believe that we're already in the month of June. Um, we're pretty much in the middle of summer now. So I hope everybody's like able to take some time, spend with their family. Things are so high that, average people can't feel like they can breathe in this economy. It's not working for them. So I really hope that people are able to have a good time. And, I don't want people to get down either and feel like, well, I got to cancel a trip that I wanted to take because I have to save money. Money's a little tight. It's a lot of people going through that. And so we are all in this together. Okay. If one feels pain on this platform, we all feel it. And I love about this community so much is we all can relate to our real world daily problems because we all go through them. Okay. We are all human, and I don't want people to get down on themselves and feel like, well, I try so hard. I do right. I try to be the best person who I can. But the government that I live under seems it does not acknowledge me as a American citizen. And it feels like the average person gets punished because they don't have millions of dollars or billions of dollars. Or if you're Elon Musk, projected to be the first trillionaire, which is insane. But I just want to say to my listeners and people out there, we are going to persevere. We are going to keep pushing. We're going to keep pushing. Talk to some of my listeners of the show, and they are some of the most brave, humble, work hard people I know. And, they tell me, things are not going good right now, but I wasn't made to give up. The family I came from, they always fought. So I'm a fighter. And that's how I am too. My family has instilled in me qualities that I can use and I can apply in the real world. And it's going to get hard. And the hard days aren't over. Like, we're going to run into other stuff. When one thing is put away, another thing comes. I mean, I think that's just life. But while we still have breath in our bodies and we are on this planet, in this world for this short period of time, I think it's upon us to try to work together and commit to basic things, basic qualities that we all look for. Having a roof over our head, making sure our bills are paid. Um, if you have kids, making sure that they're took care of. Elderly people, making sure they're okay, and making sure that yourself is okay. And the way that we can do that, we have to change the system. Okay. It's just that plain. I'm talking to the person. I'm not talking to the party affiliation. I'm talking to the person. The person that votes, whether they vote Republican, whether they vote Democrat, whether they vote third party. I think it is enough common, decent folk out here that has common sense that does not let ideology corrupt their mind and see past the racism, see past the different religions, see past the gender aspects of it, and just see a human being just like them and just want the best for that person. So, why can't we have policies that align with that mentality? Because whether you're a farmer, whether you're a retail worker, whether you work in the restaurant industry, we all want the same thing. We want to provide for our families, our loved ones. We want to make sure we're healthy. We want to make sure that we're leaving a clean, friendly environment that is inhabitable for the future of this country. And I think that that's being a real patriot. I think that's patriotic. And it's no coincidence that this is 250th anniversary of the country. All of this stuff is happening at once. I think it wasn't a coincidence that we're here now in this moment of time. But I also think that we have to really pay attention and really understand that the power is with the people. But the people have to care, and the people have to care not about just themselves, not about just their friends and their family, but the next person and the next person and the next person. That's how you spark change. That's how you change the system. We have to start wanting better for each other, guys. It's just that simple. So before we get into today's show, I wanted to just say please like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Liking and sharing is free of charge. It gets more eyeballs on our platform. And when I say our, I do mean our. I can't do any of this without you guys. The people who listened into the show, the people who personally DM me and tell me, keep going, keep spreading the word. How can I help? To me, that's what community is. To me, that's what a family is. This is a family oriented podcast. Now, a lot of stuff that come out of my mouth might not be kid appropriate, but this is a family platform because I really do feel like we're all family here. Even if I'm just on the screen being the voice of the show, the people behind the scenes, the listeners behind the scenes, the people who are listening right now help make the Progressive Vibe podcast. So I want to always reemphasize this before I start my long monologue. I am very passionate about how I feel about wanting to be a little speck of hope, change, a voice of reason to people out here. This is what this platform is to me. So again, please like and subscribe. We're at 537 subscribers. Not gonna lie, I was not expecting that at all. And it's just like everybody has united and subbed up to the YouTube channel. And I'm just so thankful. I don't even have any words for it, but just thank you. Again, the link tree is down in the description to all my socials. I also have a Cash App on there. There have been people who have donated to the show. Thank you guys so much. It's not warranted for anybody to donate anything to the show. I'm not hounding you guys for money or anything like that, but I do want to say if you do give contributions to the show, it does go back into the show. So again, thank you guys for that. So let's get into it. That was 12 minutes of me just talking you guys' head off. So get ready for at least another 20 minutes or so. So, what I really want to come on here and say for this episode is basically it's all fun and games until it's not. It's all fun and games until it's not. Voting has repercussions, it makes outcomes. And right now, the outcome has been nothing that the American people, in my estimation, has wanted. Don't take my word for it. You know, I like to show you guys the receipts. So, here is an article that I thought was very telling. Get it right here, share it, and it is from the Hindustan Times, and it reads. Scroll up here to the top. Trump approval near record low, 70% disapprove how he handles cost of living amid the Iran war. Hopefully, you guys have been keeping up on the Iran war. And seeing what a endless unnecessary war looks like, it looks like this. It looks exactly like this. And this is why gas prices are so high. And it sucks because we're in summertime. People are planning trips to the beach, out of town. you know, uh, School is on break, and you need gas in this um, society that we live in. We don't want to go for a more cleaner energy, so we use tons of oil, and so when a country so heavily rely on oil, this is the outcome of it. And Iran, they control the Strait of Hormuz, which, I think a majority of oil goes through that strait that supplies others. So Iran has a lot of power um, as it pertains to oil control. And right now, gas where I'm at in Bama, it's about 3.95, maybe 3.80, 3.85, 3.95, almost $4. But you have other states that's out there I've seen where they're, $6, $7 a gallon. And it's just crazy because people have to travel back and forth to school, to work, to do human things because you need access to a car to do a lot of things. So a lot of people are suffering, and it is taking a financial impact on our wallets. And the economy already sucks for average people as it is anyway. Now you got to worry about gas being so damn high. And so people feel like they're being squeezed, which they are. And let's continue to read some of this. It says US President Donald Trump's approval rate declined to reach near the lowest levels of his political career. As pessimism continues among voters over high energy prices and rising costs amid the ongoing war in Iran. The survey conducted by Rutgers and IPSOS showed only 35% of the respondents approved Trump's performance in the White House. The number was near the lowest level of 34% in the April poll and close to an all-time low 33% in Trump's first term in December 2017. The Republican leader has faced mounting criticism over the Iran war and rising gasoline prices, as we just talked about. Trump has failed to negotiate a peace deal with Iran, even though he claims that it's going to be one every 2 weeks. Have you guys noticed that? It's always 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. Iran, even as the war completes 100 days. Today, if I'm not mistaken, marks the 100th day of this needless war with occasional flare-ups shooting energy prices, which, the energy prices, the gasoline, your power bill, all that has an effect because of this war. While prices have edged lower in recent weeks over the possibility of an end to the war, around 59% of the respondents said they expect gas prices to get worse next year, according to this survey. And that's the thing, like stuff like this over time, when it festers like this, like a needless, endless war like this, it lingers. And as long as this war continues to go on, the future impacts of this are going to be devastating. Thus, the gas prices. Like, we're already in this now. Trump, along with Israel, launched a military attack at Iran on February 28th, sending shockwaves in the world, and a counterattack from Iran on U.S. and Israel targets in the West Asia. The Strait of Hormuz, through which a fifth of global oil passes, has remained shut, affecting global energy prices. Let me read that again for you guys. The Strait of Hormuz, through which a fifth of global oil passes, has remained shut, affecting global energy prices. 70% disapprove of Trump's handling of cost of living, as we were just talking about. The survey also showed that only 22% of the U.S. respondents approved of Trump's handling of the cost of living in U.S. households. Only 22%, guys. 70% of the respondents clearly disapprove of Trump's handling of the domestic issue. 70%. Okay, so can we please put away this liberals just don't like Trump? It's just, Democrats. When you have 70% of Americans, regardless of party affiliation, who clearly disapprove of Trump's handling of cost of living, even though that's what he ran on during his campaign. I just want to let that resonate, because I'm so sick of hearing this whole thing of partisanship. You just don't want the president to be great. Well, if the president was doing something great, but 70% of the country does not think he's doing a good job as it relates to cost of living, that is clearly a domestic issue here in the United States. This is what every normal person who does not have 17 yachts is thinking about cost of living, cost of living, cost of living, cost of living. But yet things from the administration seems to get funded, stuff that they want, whether it's personal gain, whether it's giving money to defense contractors for this unnecessary fucking war, and it's making all of their rich buddies more richer. While the American people are saying, hey, look, President, can you please worry about the everyday average person, the everyday average American that's actually making this ship run? Because guess what? If you didn't have average Americans out here doing these jobs, there wouldn't be no economy. And Trump and a lot of his administration will come on, like Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, and they love to talk about the fucking stock market like average people have a play in the stock market. Average people ain't got no damn money to put in no stock market. So every time I hear how good the stock market's doing, I hear, oh, rich people are doing better. Rich people are doing better, making more money. Their living conditions are getting better. And it pisses me off because you have people who are in the same position as the other average American to their left or to their right, and they're so blinded with ideology that they're screwing over their own self also while they're screwing up everybody else because of this, like this praise that they have for this man, this mortal of a person that we all are. We're all mortals. We're not immortal. We all have to go to the grave eventually. And this dude is self-profiting. Again, full disclosure, these are my own formed opinions that are protected under the First Amendment in the Constitution. So let me continue. This man seems to self-profit off of the office in which he holds and his family and his rich friends, while the average American has to constantly face every damn day, how are they going to pay for the things that they need? And it pisses me off. I think it's enough for that article because that got me super mad, guys. Let me stop sharing this right here because I want to show you some other stuff that I have for you. Let me bring it up here because it just keeps on getting better. So all fun and games until it's not. Speaking of games, Trump family UFC selling $12,000 Freedom 250 themed coins ahead of the White House fight night. The medallions, which come in a case featuring Trump's signature, are billed as a way to commemorate a defining patriotic moment between the president and the company. What the grift is this? What in the grift is this? So this guy and his family are selling $12,000 Freedom 250 themed coins ahead of the UFC fight that's going to be at the White House. I don't know if you guys have seen the layout of the UFC cage or whatever the hell it's supposed to be, but it's a hot mess. And the taxpayers are paying this. So the taxpayers have to foot the bill, but the taxpayers can't get good health care. The taxpayers can't get cheap gas. The taxpayers can't get low groceries, but the taxpayers can foot a UFC fight on June 14th on Trump's birthday. And he's calling it a patriotic moment. What the hell is patriotic about it? I mean, it's patriotic for him. And at the end of the day, guys, it's about him. Are y'all going to the UFC fight? Did y'all get invited? I don't think so. Is he bringing any like average MAGA person there? Like somebody down here in Alabama? You think just like an average person who voted for Trump, you think that you're going to be able to afford to go to his UFC fight on his birthday in Washington, D.C.? I think not. And it's really embarrassing because where is the self-reflection? People are so egotistical that they're willing to say, I'll vote for him again. Oh, that's just Trump being Trump. And they make excuses for this guy. to keep getting away, to keep screwing over the average American while we are suffering. And the guy was already a billionaire and he's profited another billion since he's been in the White House. And he has not even served a full 4 years. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. So let me go back and show you guys some more evidence because it just keeps getting better. As I just said, it just keeps on getting fucking better. This is also about the UFC fight. This was from Ground News also, but I clicked on the specific article and it was from the Huff Post, and it goes into more detailed about this scam. Just keep it real with you because it's not helping the average American out whatsoever. So it says, as President Donald Trump is set to soak in a bloody UFC brawl outside the White House on his birthday Sunday, his family is getting behind $12,000 gold coins promoting the fight card. The Trump organization, run by the president's sons, Eric and Donald Trump Jr., and the multi-billion-dollar mixed martial arts company, have partnered to sell a collection of Freedom 250 themed silver and gold coins branded with the president's face and in a case that features a label with his signature on it. So basically, this funky ass coin go have the president's face on it and a signature, and it's gonna be $12,000. The coins, which are set up to drop Tuesday, range from nearly $250 to $12,000 a piece, and also include a portrait of Trump's bud, UFC boss Dana White, on the label. The medallions are billed as a way to commemorate both America's 250th birthday and a defining patriotic moment between Trump and the UFC, per the website of Trump Coins, which says it partners with the Trump organization and suggests the president's, quote, designed the medallions and other coins. While Trump has proudly backed the coins and his likeness is apparently cleared for use, Trump Coins claims that the Trump organization doesn't manufacture or sell the medallions. The degree to how much the organization financially benefits from its partnership with Trump Coins is less clear. Of course, it's like, yeah, we're going to profit off of these coins, but yeah, we don't manufacture them. We don't have anything to do with the coins because the president isn't profiting off of his presidency. Okay, whatever. Again, all of this is a fucking joke, and I wish I can be a less harsh with my words here, but I'm pretty sure the person's a Trump fanatic is going to see me and be like, "Oh my god, this black guy, he's obviously a Democrat. He doesn't like Trump because he's a black guy and he's a Democrat." And it's just like, dude, do you see that the fucking building's on fire? I'm not trying to burn up in the building. I'm trying to get the fuck out of here. I mean, if you want to go in the building and stay in there and be like the dog in the kitchen, the meme of "this is fine" holding the coffee mug. Okay, cool. But I'm getting the hell out of here. And it's just so frustrating because dude, wake the fuck up. Like, you're being played. You are being played. And it's embarrassing. This country is embarrassing right now. And that doesn't make me less patriotic because I said that. That doesn't make me not an American because I said that. People like to, say, well, if you don't like the country, you can leave. Man, people can't even afford to leave if they wanted to. And I don't want to leave my country. I want to fight for my country diplomatically, diplomacy, through policies, not through warfare. So yes, this country is fucking embarrassing right now. And we need to do better as people who are American citizens and realize that we need to grow the fuck up, put our political ideologies to the side, and we need to be based in common sense, putting it simply. And I mean, I got a couple more things I want to share with you guys. I know I'm overloading you with a lot, but again, it's all fun and games until it's not. And I wanted to talk about this Knicks game real briefly before I wanted to show you guys a video. But before we do that, we have a quick word from a sponsor. What's up, Vibers? We have an awesome sponsor for today's episode, Board and Social Company, creating custom charcuterie boards, grazing tables, and elevated spreads for events, parties, and date nights and more. Every board is handcrafted with fresh ingredients and designed to bring people together in a more fun and memorable way. You can check out their work and place an order by following them on Instagram at Board and Social Company and on Facebook at Board and Social Company. Thank you for the awesome sponsor. Check them out, guys. All right, we're back. So let's get into this New York Knicks article. The game comes on at 7:30 my time. I'm trying to see. Okay, here it goes. So I'm a big sports guy. Love football. Love watching basketball. The finals are on. Okay, the finals are on. And this is a time where fans are just being fans. Love the sport. Sports are supposed to bring us together as common folk. Supposed to bring us together, leave that bullshit at the house. While you're in the arena, you're just soaking up the atmosphere, the popcorn, or the expensive ass concession stands. like all of this, you're soaking it in. Like, it's very nostalgic. It's very, it puts you like in this like kid mode. I don't know if anybody went to a big time like college game or a big time pro game, but if you're a sport fan and you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. And so this is a time where the New York Knicks have been irrelevant for a long time. And I'm not a New York Knicks fan, but I do like the fans, and I do like the players. I do like Jalen Brunson. He's a very underrated player. He doesn't get enough recognition. And of course, I love Wemby, the new up and comer, young skyscraper, alien as they call him, 7'4" guy that's able to give it to you between the legs and hit you with a spin move and, hit a fadeaway. Just like he is like a 7'4" point guard. And it's crazy to see. And he's only going to get better as he gets older, get in the weight room, etc. So fans are like live, man, like the game's about to be in New York City, and here comes Trump coming to the game tonight. Possibly game 4, I'm hearing. So the Knicks announced enhanced security measures for fans with Trump attending game 3 of the NBA finals. It's just like, dude, you're going to bring an energy that nobody, even the people who support you, nobody wants at the game. Can we all just be real and just say, even though Trump obviously is allowed to go to the game, he is a New Yorker. He is really good friends with the owner of the New York Knicks, James Dolan. Is it James Dolan or Jim Dolan? I know his last name's Dolan. And again, like I said, he is a Knicks fan, so I will give him that. And so he wants to come to the game. I just feel like if I was president, I would want the city to be the city. And that means having watch parties outside the stadium, because, like, let's be real, ever since Trump has stated he's coming to the game, the ticket prices have skyrocketed. I mean, you have like nosebleed seats are like $8,000. Like, regular everyday people can't afford that. So a lot of people are they look forward to having the watch parties, going to their local restaurant, going to their local bar, and being able to be in that atmosphere and make it feel like they're a part of the fucking city. And you have Trump coming to the game. President Donald Trump will attend game 3 of the NBA Finals at Madison Square Garden on Monday, where the New York Knicks host the San Antonio Spurs at the invitation of franchise owner James Dolan. His name is James Dolan. I was right. The Secret Service and Madison Square Garden are implementing strict security measures, including a no-back policy and TSA-style screening procedures, mirroring precautions Trump required at previous sporting events like the Super Bowl and the Daytona. So pretty much you're going to have to go through these detectors, and it's going to be like this whole big thing. It's going to take more time for people to actually get in, get seated. People are going to have to arrive even more early. It's just going to be like a whole bunch of hectic shit going on pretty much. So attendees should anticipate hard street closures surrounding the garden, with officials urging fans to arrive at least 2 hours before tip-off. At least 2 hours. That's crazy. Resale ticket prices on StubHub have soared to $10,000 as of Saturday night. Who the hell got $10,000 for a ticket to a game? I don't care if it is New York Knicks, a very prestigious NBA basketball team. Who got $10,000? NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said he was, quote, thrilled the president will attend, emphasizing sports can unify, quote, our increasingly divided society. Honestly, Adam Silver really had no other choice but to say that. I mean, he's being professional. He is the commissioner of the NBA. You know what I mean? That is what you're supposed to say. And also, too, if he says that, it also cuts down a lot less potential chance of Trump retaliating at the NBA. So, while New York City Mayor Zoran Mondani, which is the mayor of New York City, urged fans to, quote, celebrate responsibly. The Knicks aim to extend their series lead after winning 2 games in San Antonio, making their first finals appearance in 27 years, as Trump has not ruled out attending Game 4 on Wednesday. So he might even come to Game 4 on Wednesday. So Mondani is the new mayor of New York City. People love him. I love Mayor Mondani. I love his policies. I love his stances on numerous of things. He is a younger politician. He is for the people. He's just very astute at politics. And I wish we had more people like that in the Democratic Party and in the Republican Party. Somebody who just literally just has common sense, man. Cool guy. I think he's going to be at the game too. And yeah, I can't wait to tune in and watch the game. It comes on in about 30 more minutes, so I need to be hurrying this up, guys. So I had one video I wanted to show you guys, and it is by Don Lemon. It is a Don Lemon show. And I wanted to stop sharing this, and I wanted to share this. And what this is look at this CBS interview that Donald Trump walked out of, because again, it just seems like when Donald Trump has to face accountability, the heat get too hot in the kitchen and he has to get out of it. He doesn't like to be questioned. He doesn't like to be put on the spot. And when I show you this interview, he's just going to regurgitate a lot of the old talking points that he always seems to come back around on. He really has no answer for none of this bullshit that he himself and his administration started. So I'm going to let Don take it away.
Now, here we go. This is what I'll ask you. I want you to take this message that I'm sharing today and the link to the show, and I want you to spread it to everyone you know, whether it's email or text message or however you want to do it, and put it on your social media sites, because I think everyone needs to listen to this, and we need to push the media to be better. Here it is, starting with Christian Welker and the crux of that interview. This is the important part of it, leading up to the walk-off of this coward. Okay? It's a little bit long. Watch.
$8 billion so-called anti-weaponization fund. It was going to compensate people who say the federal government weaponized the legal system against them. It's been blocked by the courts, met with opposition from Republicans
and Democrats
in Congress and Democrats.
Excuse me, mostly Democrats.
Mostly Democrats and some Republicans.
Very few Republicans.
Just to be very clear, are you backing off the fund completely, as your acting Attorney General Todd Blanche has said, or are you looking for another avenue to revive
So
the
let
fund?
me explain what the fund is. People have been hurt so badly by radical left lunatics that worked for the Biden administration and Sleepy Joe. They're vicious, they're violent, what they did to people. And of course, they went after me more than anybody else. They raided Mar-a-Lago and all the other things. But people have been badly hurt. They've committed suicide. They've lost their jobs. They've lost their families. They've lost their wives. They've lost everything. They've lost everything over a fake weaponization of government. Now,
So
let
are
me
you
just tell
looking
you.
for a way to revive it?
Well, look, if it was up to me, I'd pay them the kind of money that they deserve. People have been destroyed. Lives have been destroyed. Many suicides. Think of it. People have committed suicide because a bunch of thugs went after them.
You don't-
So, me, personally, I think the weaponization fund is a great idea. And so do many other Republicans. You have to get it approved. If they get it approved, that's great. If they don't get it approved, I'd be disappointed.
All right, we're going to motor through this.
But you have to understand, people have been destroyed by crooked politicians, and they should be reimbursed for that.
Do you think anyone who attacked police officers on January 6th should get taxpayer money?
I wouldn't be inclined to say so, but I have to see it. I can tell you this, 97% of those people, you look at them, the FBI or whoever it was, you had a lot of crooked cops, you had dirty cops. Comey was a dirty cop.
Well, there's
a guy
no
like
evidence
Bolton was a dirty
but
cop.
there's no evidence.
Wait a minute. You think Comey was a straight
people
cop?
who pleaded guilty to assaulting police
Comey
officers.
was a dirty cop.
No,
They had
people who
FBI.
assaulted police
Listen to me.
officers.
They had FBI agents ushering them into the building. They had FBI going
Pause.
to the building.
Pause.
Those
Comey was not the head of the FBI. It was Donald Trump's pick, Christopher Wray.
Christopher
This is
Wray.
why this man is delusional. Keep going.
walking around there looking always in the side. They weren't in. They were
There's
being
no
ushered
evidence
into
of
the
that,
building.
sir. There's no evidence.
You
of
had
that.
a bunch of dirty cops, and frankly, what they did was weaponization of our government.
But sir, there's no evidence of that. More than 1,000
No,
people.
what? Yeah, no, there's
pleaded
none.
guilty to
You know what you
crimes.
do? Try
Would
looking
you-
at the tapes one time.
Would you take it off
Look
the
at the
table?
tapes
Okay,
one time.
but 172 people did plead guilty to assaulting police
You
officers.
know why they
Pause.
plead guilty?
We have looked at the tape, and there is no evidence of anything that he's saying. The only thing I see on that tape is that people busting into the Capitol, being unruly, and terrorists acting like terrorists. Police officers being squished in doorways and beaten with flagpoles and sticks. That's what we see. And a woman trying to break into the Capitol and being told to stand down. And then once she gets shot, they want to say, oh my gosh, you shot. They told her to stand down and she tried to break into the Capitol. That's what you see. People who went into the Capitol to steal things from lawmakers, to threaten lawmakers' lives. Who knows what they would have done if they had gotten anywhere near, I should say, well, they did get near them, but if they had gotten to one of those lawmakers, and people who took, let's just say, defecated and urinated in the Capitol. That's what we saw. Not anything of what he said. This man, again, is a lunatic. Keep going.
Because they told they were going to
Receiving
jail for
funds?
15 years if they didn't.
Should
They
they?
pled guilty because they were frightened. They went down. They were ushered into a building. Many of them were arrested without even
Would
going
you be
into the
okay
building.
with them receiving taxpayer dollars?
The people were destroyed by dirty cops and by weaponization. Many of those people should be compensated. Now, with that being said, as I understand it, the weaponization fund was going to set up a group of people, people that could be picked by anybody, fair people, smart people, and they will go on an individual case basis.
Okay.
Now, I don't know what's going to happen with the weaponization fund. I love the idea because people like you, the fake, dirty press, the crooked press, people like stupid Biden, he's not smart enough to know what's going on, but people that surrounded him, surrounded his beautiful, resolute desk in the Oval Office, what they did to the lives of people, they destroyed people. They sent people to jail who did nothing
All right,
wrong.
just to be very clear, there's no evidence of what you're saying. But let
There's
me
a
ask
lot
you
of
about
evidence.
Todd Blanche. Let me ask you about
Listen
Todd
to me.
Blanche.
Listen to me.
Let's talk
There's
about Todd
tremendous evidence. There's nothing
It's
but
not been
evidence. The
presented
election
in a
was
court of
rigged.
law.
It was a dirty election.
Mr.
And it's
President,
happening again right now
You've
in
never
California.
presented evidence
It's happening
that the
right
2020
now in
election was
California.
rigged.
Right now, look at what's
Where's
happening
the
in
evidence
California.
to that?
It's
The
4
Republicans
days.
are doing well in
California, no, they're not. They're dropping fast because it's a rigged election. Let me tell you, it's 4 days, and they aren't even close
That's
to
how
coming
they-
up
that's
with.
how they count
You know
the
why
votes
they're
in
doing that? Because
California.
they're cheating on the election.
Do you have evidence to support
All I have
that?
to do is look. All I have to
But
do is
that's
look.
not
And I
evidence.
listen. And I listen to people. And let's see what happens.
But sir, that's not evidence.
Do you think it's appropriate
That's how they
that they
count the votes in
Do you think it's
California.
appropriate that they have an election And 5 days later, they're nowhere close to picking
State and local officials acknowledge they are slow. They're urging.
No, they're crooked.
They're urging the votes to be counted quickly. That's how they vote
They're
in
crooked,
California.
just like you're crooked. Your press is crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked.
To be fair, I'm not crooked, but let's
Really?
Let's
Well, you
continue.
play right into their hands.
Let's continue.
You're either crooked or you're stupid.
Let's
you play
continue.
right into their hands with it.
Damn.
She's a better human being than I am. I was going to say she's a better woman than I am. Of course she is. I'm not a woman, but she's a better human being than I am because I would have laid into his ass right there and say, look, I know with you, every accusation is a confession. So that whole crooked thing, I'll just take it that you are referring to yourself. And then I would have lit into him. Keep going. How rude, though, was that? Back it up a little bit. Listen to him. This is why I say something's wrong with him. Just back it up a little bit. Listen how nasty he is to this woman, to a professional. Go ahead, Andy.
You're either crooked or you're stupid. You play right into their hands with this. You know that these elections are rigged. Your network knows that they're rigged. You know that I won an election in a landslide, and I got 94% bad press.
But Mr. President,
Pause,
you know why
pause.
I get that?
He didn't win an election in a landslide. That's a lie, too. It was not a landslide. He did not win an election in a landslide. I know he likes to say that, I guess, for his ego. I don't know. I won't go into the smallness here. Also, he got 94% negative press. Why do you think he got 94% negative press? Look how he conducts himself. Look how he handles himself. Look at his policies. Look at his accomplishments or lack thereof. Of course, you're going to get negative press. The press is going to report on what you're doing. So what you're doing may be problematic. That's why you're getting negative press, not because the press is out to get you. The press has never said that they're out to get you. You have said that you're out to get the press. You called the press the enemy of the people. You've called the press fake news. You've called reporters names and piggies. You've sicked your MAGA mob on reporters. Our lives have been in jeopardy because you've sicked people on us. That's why you get negative press, and you did not win in a landslide. Keep going.
Because you have no credibility.
But you've never presented evidence that it was rigged. Let's keep talking about. I want to talk about Todd.
You have more evidence. There's more evidence than ever presented.
Let's talk about
your elections in this country. We're like a third world country.
But, sir,
your elections are crooked, and you're crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked.
Your elections are crooked. Is he not part of this?
Right.
Is he not an American?
Right.
Because he gets mad, but they get mad when you say your president, he's not mine. But now he's saying your elections. Back it up a little, Andy. I want him to hear all this. This is the juice. This is a gist right here. Just back me up a little. There we go.
Let's talk
your
about
elections in this country. We're like a third world country.
But, sir,
your elections are crooked, and you're crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked, and so is ABC and CBS and CNN.
But, Mr. President,
you're one-sided crooked networks. All right, let's call it quits because I've had enough. Thank you, darling. Have a good time.
Mr. President, let's please. I traveled all the way to Wisconsin.
I've sat
traveled
in the rain
all. I know. I
I've sat in the
traveled
rain
all the
with
way
you
to
for an hour,
Wisconsin.
on and off in the rain, and I've given you enough time. You ought to straighten out your press because you know what?
Mr.
A
President,
country can never be great with the dishonest.
Listen, we traveled all the way to Wisconsin for this interview.
There we go. I would have left that mic. They turned the mics off. I don't know why, but maybe they just cut it because they didn't want. Here's the thing. A country can never be great with a dishonest press. Yes, that's why we are not great, because he is forcing the press to be dishonest. But a country can be great if they continue to do what Kristen Welker did, and if they do what Scott Pelley does. That's how the country can be great, because that's not a dishonest press. That's the way it should happen. Now to Scott Pelley.
Yeah,
we
this
can
is about
discuss
Barry Weiss and Minnesota ICE killings.
The lies that he says they wanted him to inject into his story. Roll it.
Barry Weiss sends an email to my boss, Tanya Simon. Two of the things in the email include, can we make the protesters look more violent? Now, I'm paraphrasing. I don't have the quote, but that's what was communicated to me. And the other thing was Renee Good's car. You need to describe her as driving toward the officer. This is not what you see on the video. On the video, you see the officer standing slightly off the front of the car, and you clearly see Miss Good's wheels turned completely as far as they will go, away from the officer. But he shoots her in the head, kills her, and says something about her in that moment that I can't repeat in polite company. So We have gone out of our way in our plan from the very beginning to show the protesters for the responsibility that they had. We had already scrubbed the video archives looking for those scenes, but it somehow wasn't enough for Ms. Weiss. The video showed that the officer wasn't standing in front of the car and she wasn't driving toward him, but that's what the president said about that. And that's the way she wanted it described.
And you know what? Every single word I believe, and I believe it more than you know, because I know old people be knowing, and people who have gone through similar shit know. This isn't just start to happen. This has been happening for a few years now. Canary in the coal mine. If there is one thing that is more true than almost anything, everything you said was true, but I think that should resonate with everyone, is when Scott Pelley talks about the importance of having a free press and that there is no democracy without journalism, and that Donald Trump himself.
1 second. So just a quick pause on that. There is no democracy without journalism. Did y'all hear what Don just said? There's no democracy without journalism. Journalists are on the ground getting the news from the source in real time. They're protected, supposed to be protected in the First Amendment. And if you have the powers that be trying to muzzle certain sections of media, of journalism, is that free press? Is that fair? Is that a democracy? I don't think it is. Let's continue.
Has never been in a position to serve his country in a way that journalists do and people who go off to fight these wars do. Roll it.
I've never worn the uniform, but I've been in combat for this country in Afghanistan and Iraq, Kuwait, been shot at, spent nights in foxholes filling up with water in the desert. I'm not aware that the President of the United States has ever done any of those things for his country. Please correct me if I'm wrong. You become a journalist because you love the First Amendment. You become a journalist because you love the country. And while all the other descriptions that the president used about me might be applicable, there is no democracy without journalism. It can't be done. And that is why I am a journalist.
And those people who run the news companies now don't understand that. And those who are inside of the news divisions of those companies who have been there for a long time and they know better and are doing nothing. Shame on you. Shame on the bosses who are either doling out these orders, I'm talking about at every news organization, or are just going along with them or ignoring them or just trying to hang on because they feel like they have nothing else to do. Retire. Go. Get out of there. Put someone in a position that's going to stand up and fight back. I believe it's just like in Congress and people demand that there be term limits in lawmakers. I think it should be the same thing in news organizations, especially for those who just go along to get along and who don't stand up to these folks and say, this is not what the news division is about. This is not what we do. And for the journalists themselves, I hope that this is contagious. I hope that this pushes you to understand. And I get it. You have obligations. I understand all of that, but I hope it gets you to understand that this is when we need people to be the bulwark for the First Amendment, for the Constitution, for the freedom of the press.
I think Don said that so perfect. This is a time where if you're a real journalist, you got to speak truth to power, even if it costs you something. Because guess what? It's costing everybody something. It's costing me something. It's costing you something, because society can't live forever under a lie. Truth can only do that. Truth can only be the light, not a lie. You can't go through life living a lie. And that's what it seems like the CEO of CBS is doing, Mrs. Weiss. She's catering to the president and not letting journalists do journalism, and is tapering off people like a Mr. Scott, who's been with CBS 60 Minutes forever. He's like a staple point if not the staple point of CBS. And he's gone. And he's telling you that the building is on fire right now. It can be put out, but it is currently on fire right now. And it just goes back to me saying, as we wrap it up here, it's been over an hour. Thank you guys for hanging with me. We all have a responsibility to do. Just because you're not in journalism does not make you a part of the story, because you are. We are a part of the story. We live it every day. And we can change that story for the better for all of us. But we got to want it. We got to want to do that. We got to put in the work. We have to organize. We have to talk to one another, hear our problems, hear our concerns. We have to listen to each other, and we have to speak truth to power. If you like today's episode, please hit that like button. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to edit this, put this up. Thank you guys for the awesome day today. I think we covered a lot. I hope you guys like the show. I want to provide you guys with as much information as I can, and I want to put it in a way that people don't feel like they're being exploited, don't feel like somebody's choosing a certain side, somebody that's just presenting them with facts. And that's what I hope I did for you guys today. I'm your host, Doddie, and this has been the Progressive Vibe. You know, I always say, I love you guys. Keep fighting a good fight. Let's keep vibing, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.